The bell over the shop door jingled, then fell silent. All eyes turned as he walked in, slowly, stiffly, with a cane that echoed against the hardwood floor like a ticking clock no one wanted to hear. His coat was frayed, his boots worn thin, but it was his eyes that unsettled them most. Blue, cold, haunted by deserts and dust and silence that most people never live long enough to understand. The clerk glanced at him, then smirked. "Sir," the clerk said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "we don't want trouble here. You should leave." And just like that, the old man was kicked out. But what no one knew, what not a single smug face in that room could have imagined, was what would happen next. His name was Raymond Cole, gunnery sergeant, retired. 34 years in the United States Marine Corps. 2 tours in Iraq. 1 in Fallujah. 1 in Afghanistan. A chest full of medals, and a back full of shrapnel. But medals don't pay rent. And sacrifice doesn't age well when silence is your only company. Raymond lived alone in a 1-bedroom trailer at the edge of town. His wife had passed 6 winters ago. His son, taken too young in a training accident stateside. And since then, the world had gotten louder and meaner. The parade stopped. The flags came down. People forgot how to look him in the eyes. But he still stood tall, at least as tall as his cane would allow. Today, he had come into the shop to buy a gift that a young neighbor, just a kid, was heading off to Navy boot camp. And Raymond, remembering the fear that clings to young men about to become soldiers, had wanted to give him something meaningful. Something to hold on to. A simple folding knife. Nothing fancy, just a symbol. A gesture from one warrior to the next. But they didn't see that. They just saw an old man. The store was quiet before the whispering started. "Did you see the way he limped? Probably off his meds again. He's here to beg for a discount. Like always." And then the clerk, young, smug, clean-shaven, stepped out from behind the counter. "Look, Grandpa, this isn't a pawn shop. We're not running a charity. You want something? Come back when you can afford it. Or maybe try the VA, if they even still remember your name." A laugh from the corner. Someone snapped a picture. Raymond didn't flinch, just nodded once, adjusted his coat, and walked out. The bell jingled again. The door shut behind him, and the silence that followed was not guilt, but pride. The kind of pride that feels safe behind a counter. The kind that comes cheap and leaves fast when tested. 57 minutes later, a black SUV pulled up outside the same shop. Then another, and another. Engines rumbled low, doors opened sharp, and boots, young, fast, and terrifyingly in sync, hit the ground like thunder rolling in. .6 men entered. Uniforms clean, eyes hard, purpose unspoken. Each one wore the same trident pin over their heart. U.S. Navy SEALs. The clerk behind the counter froze mid-joke. His words, whatever they had been, died somewhere between his throat and his conscience. The tallest of the SEALs stepped forward. He wasn't holding a gun. He didn't need one. He placed something on the counter. A photo of Raymond Cole, standing between 2 flagpoles, and 6 younger men, arms around him, all smiling. All SEALs. The man behind the counter swallowed hard. But the silence demanded more than fear. It demanded truth. "He saved our lives," the SEAL said quietly. "In Kandahar. Held a ridge for 11 hours. Outnumbered, wounded, and out of ammo." Another stepped forward. "He carried me 3 miles to an evac point with a broken leg." A third added, "We wouldn't be breathing if not for him." The oldest among them leaned in. "We heard he was disrespected, that someone decided he didn't belong." Then he paused, let the weight of his words fall like stone. "So we decided to pay a visit." The clerk stammered, trying to form something that might resemble an apology, but it was too late for that. The SEALs turned. As they walked out, one of them dropped a check on the counter. "For the knife," he said. "And for every man in that store who still thinks courage has an expiration date." Back at the trailer, Raymond sat in his chair, sharpening an old blade by the window, unaware of the echo he'd left behind. But then he heard it. Laughter. Boots on gravel. A knock at the door. The 6 men stood outside, each with a grin that said they were home. The gift had been delivered. The gesture completed. But more than that, something broken had been mended. In a world that forgets too easily, someone had remembered. There are men like Raymond Cole all around us. Quiet, invisible, carrying wars on their backs that we'll never see. Some of them limp. Some of them smile through pain. And too often, we forget what they gave for us to live free. But kindness, real kindness, can rewrite the story. That if this story moved something in you, don't just scroll past, share it. Subscribe if you believe the world needs more moments like this. And be the reason someone still believes in goodness. Start today.